So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our compound clips that we just made and we're going to extract each song from each angle. A lot of work, and that's why it cost about $10,000 for a high quality multi-camera shoot. So let me talk a little bit about how the audio is organized, because that's going to be a big deal in how my naming convention is going to be for these multicam clips, as well as the naming of each angle. These are numbered in order of which they appear in the show. We only got out about 17 songs in this particular show. It was a short show. I've looked at all the images and all the footage, and I'm going to pick Working Man Blues to be our first clip for demo. So what I want to do is I want to create an event for this Working Man Blues number 8. So we'll go up to the library and then we'll say File, New, Event, and then we'll call this 08 Working Man Blues. So we have our happy little event there, as Bob Ross would say. And with an event, you're going to want a project. And of course, in the event of Working Man Blues. So the first thing I want to do is I want to pull in my audio master. So we're going to take this and we're just going to simply drag it on in to that event. And then there you go. And we'll drag this down into our scratch. And I did a little bit of homework before recording this video, and I happen to know on each of these cameras where this particular song starts. And this song starts at 2630. So we'll use the playhead to move that to 2630. Well, first, let me show you something with Final Cut. If I do a Control-Option down arrow, I will be able to control the height of the audio track. Since I already have a preview up here of the video, I don't necessarily need the thumbnail. So why don't we just use this for a little bit more utility and say Control-Option up arrow, up arrow, up arrow, up arrow until we have nothing but audio. Now, for your benefit, I'm going to turn this down negative 40 dB or it'll blast you out of the water. Now I want you to notice something else. You see this faint audio waveform back here. If you don't see that, what you need to do is go to Final Cut, Settings, and you can toggle the Show Reference Waveforms. There you have it. There you don't. That'll be important for us in scrubbing this audio to see where our stop points and end points are on the songs. Another thing too is if you use the right arrow key on your keyboard, you can move up one frame. You see it's increment and decrementing one frame. And if you say shift right or left, it will go 10 frames. I'm going to use my blade tool and cut right here. So I'm going to say Command and then B. And that'll place a cut right there. Now we're going to go to the end of the song, and you can tell that it's the end by looking at that dip in the audio waveform. And I'm going to say Command plus to make this width greater, or Command minus to make it shrink. So that's how we can control the zoom. We can see it's right about here. Let's listen to a little bit of it. All right, good enough. So we'll cut that. Okay, now I'm going to say Shift Z. And that's going to bring this back to fit the IDE. I'm going to make a new compound clip from this compound clip. And I'm going to use the context menu to say New Compound Clip. And where I'm going to put this, I'm going to put this in Working Man Blues event. And I'm going to use the same naming convention. 08 GP01 comp. And not only will it appear in compound clips, but it will also appear in our Working Man Blues. We do this for all the rest of the 4 cameras. So I'm going to take what I have here in the scratch. You can have more than one project loaded in here at a time. Let me show you. You can have Working Man Blues. You can have any number of these. You can say, okay, so we're on the Working Man Blues project right now. So we can say close all other timelines. And then all that's left is Working Man Blues. I'm going to close this. And I'm going to go back to my Scratch. In my Scratch project, I'm going to say Command A to highlight everything and then delete, because I'm through with that angle and I want to work with the second angle. So we're going to drag that down here, and looking at my cheat sheet, this one is going to start at 1 hour 46 minutes and 28 seconds. Let me do a Shift Z to make this all fit, and then we'll go to, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have anything on Cam 2. I started the song later. I had to leave my camera position out here and come over here and start the camera. Again, all those issues are solved. So we're going to take this one out. And we're going to go to GoPro 3, Mr. Don Abbott. And he is going to start at 146.28. And we got all the show on his camera. He's the lucky one. 146.28. And we'll zoom in a little bit by saying Command plus right there. So we'll hear a little bit of it. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Again, Command plus. So we're going to listen to this right there. I'm going to say Command B for my blade tool. Cut that. And then we're going to find the end of the song. All right, we'll cut that right there. And again, we'll right click to get the context menu and say New Compound Clip. And this will be 08 GP03 comp. And we want to put him, again, in the Working Man Blues. And then since we're in the Scratch, we're done with this. So we'll say Command A to select all and then delete. And then we'll go and do the same thing for angle number 4. And according to my cheat sheet, angle number 4, this song starts at 148.44. Let's do a Shift Z to make all this fit. Let's zoom in a little bit. And there we go. And we can see our faint little audio, and this kind of looks like the signature of the others. So we'll get our blade tool, and we will say Command B, and then we'll find the end of the song, which is right about here, according to the waveform. And we'll zoom in on this so we can get a little bit more precise, and we'll listen to the end of it. And Command B to cut that. And again, right click, New Compound Clip, and this is going to be number 4. So this is going to be 08 GP04 comp. And before we get too happy with the enter key, we need to put this in Working Man Blues. And then Working Man Blues starting to get populated. On to the next one, the last one, Camera 5. Again, Control A to wipe everything out of this Scratch project and bring camera number 5 into that. We're going to zoom into this guy. So we're going a little bit closer. And Donnie's getting ready. This is Donnie's start right here. So we're going to go back a little bit. Give us a little editing wiggle room. Command B to cut. And over here, looks like the end of the song. Okay, that'll be good. We just cut, right click, 08 GP05 comp. And we'll put this in. And let me show you what happens if it goes into the raw. Okay. See, there it is right there in the raw footage. We can just simply drag it up to there. And then boom, he's there. Okay, now you see the list view here kind of looks a little wonky. It's got all these different dates. So what you can do is you can go up to this guy right here, this little film strip, and you can say, right now it's grouped by content created. So we'll just say none. And they all appear in order. So now I want to talk about the camera angles. It's important to order these guys by camera angle. For the audio, we want to consider that angle 0. And then camera 1 should be angle 1, angle 3 for camera 3, 4 for camera 4, and 5 for camera 5. So with these in order, in this particular order, that's the way they're going to appear in the multicam angle editor. So let's go ahead and make a multicam clip with these. Now what's going to happen is it's going to take all of the audio from including the master audio. And one thing that I forgot to do when I was doing this, I need to say that this is audio. So what you'll want to do is Command A to highlight all of them, right click to get the context menu and say new multicam clip. And I got a convention for this one too. We're going to say 08 multi, because this is a multicam clip, Working Man Blues. Okay, and it's going to go in the event of Working Man Blues, the same one that we're in, and we're going to say OK. And it's synchronizing all of the audio together so that they appear in sync when we play it. Now we can put this timeline for Working Man Blues project into good utility.